Invite our technical speaker, Head of Interior and Exterior Supplier Readiness Management, Volkswagen Wolfsburg, Mr. Dirk Soltau. Mr. Soltau has been in the industry since 1983. In 1998, he joined Volkswagen AG Germany in the tooling department, responsible for injection molds. Presently, he is in charge of the procurement, supplier readiness management, head of powertrain department with Volkswagen AG Wolfsburg, Germany. Please get your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, as Mr. Dirk Soltau joins us on stage.
Thank you for the warm welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, when I was 16, I started my education as a toolmaker. And now, 35 years later, I stay here on the stage to share my knowledge with you. And I would like to say thank you to have the opportunity, thanks to you, that I can stay here. And I'm very proud to be here. Thank you very much. My presentation will following this agenda. First, I would like to give you some key facts about Volkswagen, just to give you some ideas what is behind Volkswagen. The next point will be the complexity versus synergies. Then I would like to have a deeper dive to the toolmaker locations, the main markets. And I would like to spend a few minutes to talk about the contract situation. We in Volkswagen, in the group Volkswagen, we have around 230 billion euros turnover. In 2017 and 18 also, we built almost 11 million cars worldwide. We produce daily worldwide almost 44,000 cars a day. And we do that in 123 factories around the world. And we have in total around 640,000 employees. 640,000. And we have 355 car models. Our procurement volume in 2017 was 177 billion euros, and we are growing up now. So I will come to the complexity and the synergies. If we are talking about Volkswagen, the Volkswagen Group, behind this are 12 different brands, as you can see on the slide here. And we are present in different regions on the world, and especially in China, we have also some joint venture partners. So you can imagine it's not really easy to handle a company like this, but there are also big chances behind. If you see the bundling of the volumes and the synergies between the brands, regions, and the markets. And for sure, there's a big influence of the worldwide costs. So now I would like to come to the main toolmaker markets. And if you see this slide, please understand this as a draft overview. There are many more, that's clear, but the main markets I would like to talk about now. If we go to the west side, we need to talk about United States and close to the border to Canada. We need to talking about Windsor. There is an area, there are many toolmakers. If we are talking about Europe, we need to concentrate to Spain, Italy, Portugal, and Germany. And if we go to the east side, we need to talk about China and Taiwan, and also I need to add Korea there, South Korea. And what is missing here? Missing is the India market. And if I see the offers we will get sometimes from the tool makers and from the first tiers, time-wise, we need to have this Indian market because the capacity in the world will be no more enough. That's my clear feeling, my statement to you. So we need all of you as our partners. The capacity will be not enough now and also in the future. That's totally clear for me. So now I'm going to the first market, United States, Canada. Please understand the yellow and green buttons just as a direction. So that means there's no big issue we need to figure out. It's an average performance, I would like to say, time-wise, quality-wise, cost-wise. The quality of staff is quite good, and technical know-how is also an average. That's my experience. If we are going to Europe, tool maker quantity is medium, and we have a high quality of tools, of products, 2K technology, 3K technology, or if we talk about to inject PMMA, two-color injection, so that's state of the art, so it's a high quality of product. And we have a high quality of staff also there, and a high technical know-how. But if you see the last point, the capacity point, there I need to say the tools are waiting for the machines. So it's limited, the capacity, if we are talking about the machines. If we switch to China and Taiwan and jump also in the last point, you see the green bubble there, it's totally different. That's my experience if we are talking about China. There, the machines are waiting for the tools. They install huge amount of machines there I have never seen before, big machines, big tool makers there, and the machines are waiting for the tools. Totally different to Europe. That's my experience. There's a high quantity of tool makers, especially if we are talking about the south of China, Shenzhen, Hong Kong area. And the production time and the price is really attractive. But there is a big but with my experience. If we are talking about the time, they are faster, much faster than the others, 25–30%, but only until the first tryout. Why? Because then the communication is starting, the feedback from the first tier, from the OEM, from our side, Volkswagen, the queuing meeting, what we need to do in the tools. There are some basics, the tool maker know what they need to do, but the feedback is given late, always. That's our fault, that's Volkswagen, it's always late. And then we will lose the time we had before win. That's my experience. So they are faster, yes, but you can never stop them. You should never stop them. If you stop, we will lose also time. That's my experience. And we, as Volkswagen, we always change many things in our products, and we do it late, always, and it makes it difficult. So price-wise, there's also a big advantage, also 25–30%, my experience. But as I explained, we, as the OEM, we always late for a Golf product. It costs 120–130,000 euros or dollars. So it's a big influence there. So just a draft summary. As I explained, United States, Canada, an average performance, in my opinion. Europe, quality of the product and the stuff is quite good. And if we have a look to China or Taiwan and Korea also, the capacity and the time is really attractive there. So that brings us to the expectations for India. What do we expect? What are the main to-dos? Please understand the yellow and red bubbles here, it's not impossible, it's just the yellow is we can handle that, it's not so difficult, and the red means it's more difficult. So if we are talking about ground and install buildings and also machines, it's quite easy because there's just money behind. Brings us to the next point, to understand customer specifications. Sounds easy? Yes, sure, we understand customer specifications and requirements, sure. But if I have a view back to China 15, 20 years ago when we started to build big size tools there in China, that were the main challenges we had, really to understand customer specifications. That means mold design, special cooling systems, for example, hot runner systems, or steel specifications. It sounds easy, but it isn't. Take care of that. That's really, really important. And on top, there are coming also Volkswagen requirements. The first requirements are coming from the first years because these are the direct partners for you. But on top, there are Volkswagen requirements also. For example, split lines or surface polishing for the next steps, for the next processes. Just an example, for a bumper skin, according to the split lines, years ago it was a normal situation if you took the parts from the core side with the gripper, with the handle, and it was very fast. Now, since years, it's impossible. It is impossible because we have the rule, invisible split lines in a surface. It sounds also not as a wondering, but you need to know that. You need to know the specifications because then you have just the chance to take out the part of the injection site. That means you need to move both sides, if we are talking about the skin, bumper skin, to the inner, and then you can slowly take out the parts of the injection site. Again, it's not a wondering, but you need to know that because there's an influence of your tool construction, the tool design, because there's an undercut in the injection site, and there's an influence of cost. Why cost? The tool will be more complex, and for sure the cycle time will be longer, 4 or 5 seconds, because you need to take out slowly the part from the injection site. It's slower than to take the part from the core site, just an example. So that sounds also not so bad, okay, 4 or 5 seconds. But I have shown you the slides before, 44,000 cars a day, 44,000 cars a day, and if you spend for the bumpers, spoilers and so on, 5 or 4 seconds more in your running production, it is a lot of cost, a lot of money. So this is meaning requirements from the customers. That means the first tiers, the big players, and that means requirements also from Volkswagen side. Coming to the knowledge and experience staff, this is one of the biggest challenge, in my opinion. We have seen also in China 15, 20 years ago. You need to have really experienced colleagues there, and you need to take care of them, that they stay with you. According mold design, programming of machines, manual work on molds, that means the spotting process, and for sure the fitment of the sliders and lifters in the tools, because this will give you the quality of the tool. This will give you the quality of the tool. This is really, really important in my opinion. And for sure, some polishing according the requirements and according the further processes, for example, high gloss or polishing for graining or for painting, depends what parts we are talking about. That brings us to the 6 rights. So we expect we need to have the right product on the right time, the right place, to the right amount, and the right quality and cost for sure. Just a few minutes, I explained already in the beginning, to the contract situation. It should be clear, but I decided to spend some minutes because it's a really important point for me. We as Volkswagen have a direct contract with the first tiers, the big players. We give data to them and we have the contract situation with them. They give the data and the contract to you, to the tool makers. The tool makers, you will build the tools for the first tiers according to the requirements as I told you. And the first tiers deliver the parts and components to us Volkswagen. That means there will be no direct contract situation between Volkswagen and you as the tool makers. We always have the contract with the first tiers. That's important to know. There is a direct contact. Also we, as OEM, support you as our tool makers, especially with our teams, supplier readiness management. Here in India we have also a team. And we support you, for sure, with our knowledge, with the tool design and with our requirements. But there will be no direct contract. And now I'm very proud to say hello to my friend and colleague, Mr. Manoj Patil. Mr. Manoj Patil is the head of supplier readiness management here at Volkswagen India. And he will add some more information about the situation here on the India market. Thank you. Manoj.
So thank you, Mr. Soltau, for summarizing your discussion points. Since I have worked with the Indian tool makers extensively, also with the tier 1, it was Mr. Soltau felt necessity that I should summarize his discussion in whatever he has discussed for last 15-20 minutes, and therefore I am summarizing in discussion whatever his experience in USA, Canada, and in China, in Korea. I just would like to summarize the points. For example, I would like to first start with the infrastructure and machinery. If you look at infrastructure and machinery area, in Europe and China, the shop floors are well organized, whereas my experience with the Indian tool makers, where we have a limited space, and therefore this is my observation. The second point is, when we see the Europe and China, there are multi-axis deep hole drilling machines, plenty, and where we see in less than 10% of the tool makers are having multi-axis deep hole drilling machines in India. We also in Europe, China see many multiple 5-axis CNC machines, whereas we see in India less than 30% tool makers are having 5-axis CNC machines. They also have the 5 laser welding machines in Europe and China in most of the tool makers, whereas we do not see few tool makers are having this kind of technology. If you look at the trials, while doing the trials, the 2K machines are available on site at tool maker place. Then they also have the fully equipped molding machine auxiliaries like chiller facility available, like the hot runner controllers, then dehumidifiers, hopper dryers, etc. Mold temperature controllers. These are very easily available for doing the optimization. Otherwise, what happens in India, we do not find this the complete setup available with the tool makers. In turn, as a OEM, we have to do the optimization at the series site, and we lose time. And therefore, my suggestion is to look at these points. I am not saying that it is not available at all tool makers, it is available, but I think all the tool makers need to look into this aspect in order to have a benefit of operational excellence, enhance their own capacity, and also do the better cost management. The second point I just would like to summarize in a management and an organization perspective. If you see if you go to China or Europe, you see on their shop floor, the effective systematic planning. You see what are the customers, how much tool is completed, how much progress of the tool is finished. It is so visible. When we look at the Indian conditions, it is not so visible and it is not so effective. So when we see in Europe and China, we also see the continuous skill development where there is a systematic training plan, and there is a skill matrix management is being done, where in our case it is only it is not so visible in terms of, for example, if I go to tier 1, in tier 1 there is a specific program for the continuous skill management, but in toolmaker side this is not so visible. So therefore, if our toolmakers are able to manage this kind of things, it will be easy. Then the third point, the importance of cooling. The importance of cooling is given in Europe and Chinese toolmakers, whereas when we look at the Indian toolmakers, we have it is a less importance of cooling is given. This is what is my observation is. In terms of graining know-how, in China, Europe, the toolmakers are well connected with the grainer, whereas there is a very good level of partnership available with the grainer. While doing before machining, lot of the studies, feasibility done for the graining, whereas we see this is not, we see not this in a complete way in our place. Then the last, the predictive and preventive maintenance practices are available in Europe and China, whereas in India, very few tool rooms are having that kind of a system, and it is more of a preventive kind of thing. But I think there is a necessity also to look into predictive maintenance system to improve the machine conditions and make sure that you get a consistent quality performance while doing CNC machining. Then another point I just would like to mention is the expert involvement in design and trials and optimization is very much visible in Europe and China, whereas in Indian with the Indian toolmakers, I find this very few people are having this kind of expertise, and you need to struggle in the areas of design, in the areas of trial, in the area while doing optimization. Somebody mentioned that 99% is done, and we are struggling for the 1% to improve to bring it to the acceptance of the customer. What we as a VW India are doing for this toolmaker engagement is, as mentioned by Mr. Sharma in the morning session, that in 2017, August, we organized a TAGMA Tech Show in our company, and thereby we identified around 35 potential toolmakers. We also started their audit and visit so that we involve them in our new project. We are also highly getting involved to increase the synergies between the tier 1 suppliers and toolmakers, and thus we also want to maximize our tool localization in India. So in a nutshell, summary is, I just wanted to give you, when we started Polo and Vento project in 2008, our localization in India was almost to the tune of 20%. During our facelift program, we increased our localization to somewhere around 45%, and our new program, which is now from March 2021, we are going to launch 8 vehicles in the span of every 3 months, and therefore there is a very huge demand on tooling, and for that purpose, our main target in doing tools in India, and target is 85%. So we need your support to do that. So thank you from my side, and Mr. Soltau.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That is Mr. Dirk Soltau. And may I request the EC member to join us on stage, Mr. T.S. Gopalakrishnan, to hand over a memento to Mr. Soltau. And I think he deserves a bigger round of applause because he saved us 5 minutes. Thank you very much, sir. It was perfect. In the meantime, let me also remind you that we've got lots of prizes going out during the day. The 2 iPads from Godrej Tooling today, as well as 3 tomorrow. A huge round of applause once again, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Dirk Soltau. Can I have Mr. Manoj too in the photograph? Can we have one more picture, please? Can we have one more picture in the photograph, Mr. Manoj? Thank you very much once again. And